Alright guys, so this is the first episode of what might be a new series. I actually don't know if I'm going to do another episode of this, but this is, Dokkan Conspiracies, maybe, I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this, but basically in this video, if you guys have heard of Gaming with Talon, he is a YouTuber, and he pretty much has this theory, that there is a Team A and a Team B, and one of them makes all of the crappy units, and the other one makes all the good units. Now, here, today, I have 3 different examples that would probably support this. So basically, the way this works is I picked 2 units that came out similar to each other. Now, obviously, the first one is an EZA, the second one is an LR, and then the third one is just a TUR. And I'm just going to be breaking them down, and just you can see how drastically different they are, even though they came out at least somewhat close to each other. So first of all, it's AGL Super Vegito. Now this guy is good, but he's about as bad as he could have been. Because before he EZA'd, he was still pretty good. But I mean, like, that's really all he still is. He didn't get much of a buff at all. His super attack mechanic went up a little bit, his leader skill went up a little bit. He gets 40% attack and defense within the same turn after receiving an attack. That's not good, okay? Because, like, if there's no attack in the first slot, he's not getting any attack or defense. So that's just bad. He can foresee enemy super attack, but it's when HP is 40% or below. And your HP is almost never going to be below 40%, because in a Dokkan event, your HP will never get that low. And in, like, Super Battle Road, if your HP is at, like, 60%, you probably need to use an item so you don't die that turn. So it's just not super realistic that you'll ever see that. Damage received minus 80% for normals and counters with tremendous power. I mean, that is good. Like, obviously, that's good. But a lot of people were hoping that maybe he would just get 80% damage reduction against all attacks, and that was maybe all they would do. And I think that would have actually probably been a better EZA than the one that he got. Just because then he would tank everywhere, whereas now it's like, he can take a little bit of damage. So it's just like, if you just compare him before and after EZA, there's very minimal buffs. I mean, like, this attack and defense, you're probably going to get it like 80% of the time, if you're attempting to get it. If you put him in the first slot, every single time you see him, you're probably going to be getting it like 80% of the time, if I had to guess. So, you know, that is one thing. So if we don't even look at that, really, all they did was give him a stats buff, give him SA 15, and almost never you can see enemy super attacks. So he got almost no buff at all. So this is the Vegito EZA, came out on December 5th on JP. December 5th. Now, the blue Vegito EZA came out on February 25th of 2020. The last one was 2019, obviously. So there's just 3 months difference. In 3 months difference, a lot happened with this guy. Like, this guy probably got like 3 times the buff as the other one, and this guy to start off with was much easier to break the game. So if we just look at him pre-EZA, he does nothing on super attack. He gets no attack and defense at the start of turn. He only has 30% damage reduction. He has additionals, but they only have a chance to become a super attack, not like a medium chance or something insane like that. So that's like 10%. And then we just look at him EZA'd. His leader skills, whatever. EZA units' leader skills aren't supposed to be insane or anything. But on super attack, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn. He gets 40% attack and defense at the start of turn. Do you see this? He gets it at the start of turn, and AGL Vegito didn't get it until he was attacked. And the reason that's stupid is because this guy can launch up to, like, on his best turn, he can launch 4 super attacks and do a whole lot of counters. So, like, this guy, it would make more sense if he had the other one's passive. Just because of how much he can do in just, like, 1 turn. As well as the raising attack and defense. If you get just, like, 2 super attacks, I mean, he's going to be taking double digits from every, like, event in the game. Like, you can take him into the UI Goku event against the STR UI Goku stage where he has type disadvantage. And if you get him, like, 2 supers, he's going to be taking for double digits. Because 40% damage reduction, it might not be much, but if you combine it with the start of turn defensive buff, as well as the defensive buff on super, as well as, like, him being an EZA with pretty high defense, he doesn't take any damage. So, he hits harder, he defends better, and to be honest, he probably has a better leader skill too than the AGL Vegito, and they only came out 3 months apart. So this is the first example. Like, you could say like, oh, Team A made Super Vegito and Team B made Blue Vegito. Team B just makes better units, is an argument. Now, I'm just gonna be honest with you right now. I don't believe in the whole Team A, Team B thing. I don't think it's real, but you know, whatever. We're just gonna move on now. So next should be the LRs, I think. Yep. Okay, so this is LR Int Cell. Now this one, there is a slight like more difference between the times they came out. But whatever. So like, LR Cell is good. Okay. I know there are some people that say LR Cell is bad. LR Int Cell, some people say, is like the worst LR in, well, the worst summonable LR in the game. That is wrong. That's not even a matter of opinion. That is just wrong. His defense is good. He can do decent damage. Gosh, I just had a hard voice crack. And then he also gets extra attack and ki depending on how many enemies. Okay, so we're back here. There wasn't supposed to be a cut there, but I finished recording the video. I started to edit the video, and then I realized like 20 minutes just didn't record. So I'm just gonna do a quicker version of this than I did originally. So you just saw Vegito versus Vegito, the easy A's, right? So now we're doing LRs. Now, LR Int Cell is a good unit, right? Really good. He has really good defense. His attack can be, I mean, not bad, but not the greatest if you're going up against, like, a specific, well, like, only one enemy. His transformation conditions are bad. He does greatly raise attack on 18 ki, but it still doesn't do too much damage. His leader skill is pretty good. And if we just have him transform, when he transforms, he defends on average, I would say, a little bit worse. But he attacks significantly, like, harder. If we look, he also lowers attack and defense on 18 ki super. He fully recovers HP. He gets 4 ki, and then like he gets a guaranteed attack and defense plus 120%, which is good. And then also, depending on how much, well, how many orbs you get, he can get more attack and defense. So 20% when 4 or more key spheres, 20% more with 6 or more key spheres, and 20% more attack with 8 or more key spheres. Now, because that kind of like multiplies together in like a weird way, that comes out to like over 250% attack and over 200% defense. So that's kind of crazy, but like his active skill, I mean, because you're never going to see him transform, you're never going to see his active skill, and there has to be only one enemy. There's a whole lot of stuff. Like his active skill, it's good, but definitely like you're never going to see it. It's probably the rarest active skill in the game. If not, it's definitely one of the rarest active skills in the game. So he came out on August 29th of 2019, so basically September. And then we go over, and this is Blue Vegito. There was like a 4 or 5 months difference between these guys, and you might be like, oh, that's a long time for things to change. You should be comparing units that are closer to each other. But the reason I'm comparing these two is because before Vegito and Gogeta, that cell and the LR Gohan were actually the most recent Dokkan Fest LRs. So that's really the only thing that we can compare them to. And it's just like a huge difference. Like the leader skill, I would say Vegito's leader skill is probably better. I guess you could argue for Cell, because Cell does give higher, it's either defense or HP in the same amount of attack and defense, or attack and HP, I don't remember which one. He does give more ki, but Vegito's and Gogeta's categories are just better. They raise attack before they transform. Their transformation conditions are so much better than Cell's. They have a high chance to dodge in the 3rd slot, and then obviously from the 4th turn when they transform, they're insane. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, their links are significantly better than Cell's. And once Vegito transforms, with every single attack he does, he gets an additional 7% attack and defense and 1 ki, up to 77% additional attack and defense and 5 ki, which is insane. And then also, every time after he supers, he launches an additional super, and he raises his defense on like both 12 and 18 ki, which means every single turn you're gonna get this twice, which with LR stats is just insane, basically. Obviously leader skill's the same. His active skill, you're gonna see it way more often because he's gonna transform way more often. Even though, like if they transformed the same amount, you would see Cells more, because Cells is just pretty much the turn after he transforms, he uses his active skill. But with this guy, your enemy has to be lower than 50% HP, which obviously isn't super rare, but it's not all of the time, right? And then Lynx, he has Super Saiyan, he has Kamehameha, Power Bestowed by God, Over in a Flash, Fuse Fighter, and Fierce Battle. I mean, definitely, like, this guy's the best unit in the game, and, I mean, I guess it's kind of close if you're just thinking about Blue Gogeta, but the Blue Fusions, it's not close. Like, third place is just not close at all. You could say it's Rose, you could say it's, LRK and Caulifla, either way, these guys are a mile ahead. And Cell is a good unit, by the way. Like, I know I said that, but I need to make sure you guys know. Cell's a good unit. It's just, like, he's, like, top 20, and these guys are number 1 and 2 by a mile. And I say these guys because I am talking about Gogeta as well. So, I mean, that's just a big difference there. You could say that, like, oh, Team A made Cell, Team B made Vegito and Gogeta, right? Because they were probably made around the same time, actually, because of the way the yearly anniversaries work. So, and then... this is the last comparison that we're doing. TURs, so, in Goku Black, right, he leads the Time Travelers team. It's a really good team. Every time there's a new batch of Dragon Ball Heroes units that come out, this team gets a huge buff. They've never really released a bad batch of Dragon Ball Heroes units, at least, like, at the time they released. They were always good. They greatly raise, well, he greatly raises defense infinitely, which is really good for a specific kind of content. But because he does this, they didn't give him any passive defense, which isn't necessarily bad in, like I said, in certain content. But if you're just going through like a Dokkan event, this guy can get hit kind of hard, or like Dokkan Battlefield, he's not great. And they didn't need to make it to where he stacked up his attack and his chance to crit. They could have just given him this at the start of turn, and it might not be as canon with Goku Black, but it would have made him better. Because, like, his first turn you see him, he has 40% attack. And that's it. And then he will slowly build up his defense, and he will slowly get a chance to crit, and he will slowly get more attack. Which is very Goku Black-like. Which is why I think they did it that way. But they were trying to be cute, and they weren't trying to make a good unit. Whereas most of the time it's the opposite. They don't care if it's like the character from the anime at all. They just are like, we're trying to make a unit good so that we can sell it. But with this guy, they just knew Goku Black sold, so they didn't really care. Transformation conditions suck. The HP restriction isn't bad, but the 6th turn is pretty bad. And his links are pretty good. Cold Judgment, Fear and Faith, Nightmare, Prepared for Battle, Dismal Future, Big Bad Bosses, and Fierce Battle. And then obviously, when he transforms, he's ridiculous. He gets 150% attack, a 50% chance to crit. Extreme Class allies get 3 ki, and he continues to stack up that defense. And he does get the Super Saiyan and Kamehameha links. So once he transforms, he is insane, but before then, it can take him a while to get going. So I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say about In Goku Black. Now look at this. He came out on November 29th of 2018. Okay? November 29th of 2018. And then we go over here, and we compare him to a unit that came out not even a month later. I think it's December 26th. Yep, December 26th of 2018. Gogeta is just far and away a better unit. He has better links. He's super effective against all types. He has a chance to dodge. He gets a decent amount of attack and defense. He greatly raises his attack for 1 turn. His leader skill is better because he does have that double category leader skill. And he does get both of them 170% attack, actually, which is really good. He transforms from the 5th turn, and that's it. So it's 1 turn earlier than Goku Black's, as well as the fact that there's no HP restriction like Goku Black's. And just like all other Gogeta, and, well, I guess, and Vegito, but mostly Gogeta units in the game, he has, like, the best link set. Prepared for Battle, Over in a Flash, Fierce Battle, Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race. Those are just all some of the best units in the game. He's on a whole lot of categories, and then once he transforms, I mean, he was the best non-easy ATUR for an extremely long amount of time, and there's a reason for that. He's broken. Just 130% attack at the start of the turn is already pretty good. That's like what STR Jiren has. He performs a guaranteed crit when attacking, which just means every single turn he crits guaranteed. And then he has a high chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack. Also unconditional.